say why you want to integrate them, some different points of the integration. So what can you integrate? What is integration in general? What are the benefits of it, and so forth. So I'll also be giving you a demo of how to do this as an administrative individual in your company. So how do you give access to everyone within Zoho and Google Apps to access Zoho CRM, through one and the other? We'll be going over also some end user information. So we will end with a Q&A. Feel free to type any of your questions in the chat panel. We'll have some individuals answering you, helping you out with anything there. So to start, just a little bit about where I am from. I work for a company, Cloudbakers. We are a partner with Zoho. We do integrations for Zoho CRM, and we also do Google Apps. So what we do is we make your systems work together with your CRM system. So whether it be your accounting system, whether it be your lead generation system, marketing system, kind of make a full ERP with different SaaS solutions in the cloud. So that's what we do at Cloudbakers. We're a Google Apps partner as well. So first we'll go over why to integrate. Why do you want to integrate between Zoho and Google Apps? Well, Google Apps, you're going to have a lot of your email contact information. Zoho is going to be kind of your primary email information. That's where you're going to go and manage all of your sales, manage all of your different contacts, who do they work for, different information about them, notes, all of your potentials, and so forth, that you're probably familiar with. So a big piece of this is to avoid duplicate data entry. When you bring in, someone emails you, you have all of their email information. You might even get their phone number. You have their name. Everything is within your Gmail. So in order to avoid having to enter all of that information into your Gmail contacts and your Zoho contacts, we have this built-in integration between the two systems. So you enter it one place and it can move over to the other, and vice versa. As well as you can update it in one place and it will update in the other automatically for you. We want you to have a consistent viewpoint of your world. We want to have a 360 view of your customer. So if their phone number, if for instance one of your contact's phone numbers changes and your sales rep changes that in the CRM, but and you're not integrating between the two, it could be different in your Gmail contact. So that could cause a problem there. You'd be calling the wrong number, not know kind of where your contact is. You want to make sure that everything is consistent. And then integration also helps you leverage kind of the best of breed of all of your solutions. So sometimes you might like the way one accounting system works over another. So you prefer maybe Zoho, or you prefer another accounting system. The point of integrating is to say, okay, well, yeah, if Zoho CRM is your CRM of choice, works the best for your company, but you want to go off and use a different accounting system, or you want to go use a different lead generation system or marketing system, we just would help you make it so they work together. So you have all of the information. Let's say someone went to your website. You want to know what pages they visited, when they became a contact. All of that information is great to have in your CRM system. It's also great to have your CRM information maybe in your marketing platform. So just to avoid, obviously, the duplicate entry, integration is the key to making that happen. With this Google Apps and Zoho presentation, you'll see how simple this type of integration is and what Zoho has done to make this easy for you. So we're going to go over first some of the domain-wide points of integration. This is going to be more of an administrative look on Zoho and Google Apps. So we're going to show you how to set this up on both the Zoho end and the Google Apps end. You will have to have administrative access in order to do this. And then we'll also go over the benefits. When you are an administrator, you get to set up the gadgets within Google. You can set up your users. If you set them up in Google, you can automatically set them up in Zoho. You can also add site forms onto a Google site directly from Zoho. It's really easy to push in between the two. So With that being said, I'm going to jump over to a different screen and show you how to set this up in Zoho first. So in Zoho CRM, as an administrator, what you're going to need to do is within your setup, you're going to have to click Setup in the top right corner here. Again, that's right up in the top. You're going to go to Apps and Add-ons. And Apps and Add-ons is right down here. We're going to be focusing on Google Apps. So we want to click Google Apps. Again, that's Setup, Google Apps. And you're going to notice yours is probably going to be disabled. You'll have a green button that says, hey, I want to integrate with Google Apps. What you can do, click that button. You're going to be brought to this page. You may see up at the top here this Enable button. If you do see Enable as an administrator, you're going to have a lot more options than your contacts and your calendar syncing here. So you see, without this enabled, you can only sync your contacts and your calendar. Once you enable, again, that's right up here. It's missed a lot of times. We'll click Enable. Updated successfully, and now you're going to see all of these other options. So now you see your users, your contacts, your email, gadgets, docs, calendar, sites, and tasks. So we're going to go through some of these in a little bit. First, we're just going to go over the setup within Google. So that is how you set up Google Apps integration with your Zoho account. Then you have this piece within Google, and remember, you do have to have administrative privileges within Google in order to get to all of these different items. So where we're going to go first is you need to log into your Gmail. I'm logged in with the same email account that I'm an administrator with my Zoho account, and that's Sean@cloudbakers.net. So what we're going to do is we need to get into our admin panel. So in order to get into the admin panel, we're going to go to the Settings button, and that's right up here in the top right. We're going to click Manage this domain. Manage this domain is going to take us into our admin panel for Google. Within the admin panel, we're going to go to our Marketplace apps here. Click on Marketplace apps. And this is going to show us all of the Marketplace apps that you have enabled. For the sake of this demo, I've actually already enabled Zoho CRM. Sometimes it does take up to 24 hours to show in your panel. It needs to authenticate with Zoho, vice versa. Usually it's a lot quicker, but it is up to 24 hours for Google to make this available in your admin panel here. So how you're going to add Zoho CRM in the first place is in the very top right of the screen, you're going to notice this button. It's a little screen with a plus sign on it. And we're going to click Add Marketplace Apps. Add Marketplace Apps is going to pull up this window of all the Marketplace apps you can add for your organization. Just type in Zoho CRM, which is one of the most downloaded Marketplace apps on the Google Marketplace. And what you'll do is you'll see Install App. You're going to have to install the app. Obviously, like I said, I've already installed this just so I could show this for the demo today. You're going to go through a one-step process that is going to say, some of your permissions, terms of service, different items like that. You're going to have to give it permission to view some of the different users, things like that. So we would click Install here, and then it is going to show up. Like I said, it could be up to 24 hours. It's usually almost instant. So what this is going to do, once we've added this Zoho CRM to our admin panel here, we're going to go to our email. So as an end user, what adding Zoho CRM to Google Apps does is within your little apps button at the top here, so top right, you're going to see your button to access apps. You're going to scroll to more, and down at the bottom here, you're going to see Zoho CRM. So what this did for us is it activated automatic logon. So based on my email address that I'm logged into my email, I can click Zoho CRM, and it's going to take me directly into Zoho. So I don't have to remember 2 passwords. If I can get into my Gmail, I can get into my Zoho, I can flow back and forth in between the two. It's saving you a couple of clicks. It's saving you the ability to have to remember 2 passwords. It's saving you the ability, or saving you an extra screen, an extra couple of clicks there. So it's great to have for your organization. What you're also going to notice with this, and I'll go over a little bit more with it later, but you're going to see that when you go into a specific email, so if I go into Alex here, you're going to be able to scroll to the bottom of any email, and you can have this little gadget. It's going to search my Zoho CRM for Alex, and it's going to say, okay, well, he's already in the CRM based on his email address. We have his phone number right there. We can add tasks, notes, and look at any potentials that we might have with him. So with that, we're going to go back into Zoho here, and we are going to go over some of adding different users. So what Zoho gives you to add users very easily, add sites and forms to your website. So back into Zoho, we have our first option, users. So remember, you do have to be an administrator. Zoho, when you do this authentication piece, can see what your role is within Google. So if you are an administrator, it's automatically going to show you all of these options. So when we go to our users here, you can see these are all of the users I have within my domain. So if I want to add somebody here, what I can do is I can say, okay, I want to add Tyler as a user to our Google Apps. You can just click this, add to Zoho CRM. He's going to be added as a user. Automatically, it's going to pull his name over, pull his email over, and send him that authentication email. Hey, get started with Zoho CRM, confirm here, and so forth. The last piece that is available to only admins here is going to be your site. So what this is it allows you to publish a web form on a site very easily. So without you having to go into the HTML code or kind of dig into the actual development or anything like that, send it off to your developers. This gives you a way to make a landing page really, really quickly and without any knowledge of HTML or any web programming interfaces. So you'll notice that you can go to and publish forms to a Google site. So where you will do this is within the website integration. So website integration is another option that is available within Setup. You go to website integration and you click on forms right here. Click on the forms and you can see we've already created a couple here. If you want to create another one, you could say, okay, we want to create a new lead form. So we have a landing page. We want to send people to this landing page to sign up for an event or so forth, whatever you're looking to do. Create a new lead form. You'll move over, get started here, move over your last name, move over your first name, your company, and we'll throw a phone number in here. And we'll do lead source. So we're going to mark the lead source in field. And you set the default value here. We will then move down to the next step. So the next step here is going to say, what's your form name? Landing page. This can be whatever landing page you have after they fill out the form. We're just going to say form. We're going to put star here. If you have lead assignment rules are going to assign this automatically to a specific lead. You can do this based on criteria. If you have someone going to a certain spot in your website and you want your specific sales guy to get this, you can set up those lead assignment rules elsewhere. We'll just notify our rep who gets this. We'll save. Assignment rule cannot be empty. We're just going to choose a user for now. We're going to choose me. So we'll save here. We'll then go to, so now you've done all of the web forms. And this is what you could be doing. You could be saying, okay, well, I want to add all of the source actually to my website. That's not as easy if you don't know maybe where your website's hosted or you don't know HTML. So you can publish this directly to a Google site. Like I said, great for landing pages. We can select a Google site here. We'll just do test site. And we will publish. And publish successfully to our Google site. We'll click done. So to see the Zoho form on our website, what that did, automatically creates this contact us page with our web form and our information. And I can go in here and I can fill this out. We'll do Sean demo. And web form, submit. And we can then go to Zoho. We'll see our leads, and this was extremely easy to do here. Refresh. And we should see Sean demo in here. Might take a while for it to come over. Usually it's pretty instant, but that's the easiest way to produce Zoho web forms on your website. So what you can also do is, so we went over the gadgets, we went over bringing in the users, we went over the sites and forms, and we went over the authentication piece. What we're going to be doing now is the end user. So each of your users can actually configure the Google Apps integration differently based on their needs and their preferences. So I talked to a lot of individuals about keeping contact information clean. That is huge. And the biggest piece is to make sure that you set this up correctly so that you do keep your contact information clean. So you do keep a very good contact database. Everything's up to date and everything's organized and is where you expect it to be. So the first piece that we're going to go over here is the contact integration. These are all very, very similar. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look at our Google Apps contacts. In our Google Apps contacts, you're going to notice we have several groups here. You notice I have my Zoho contacts in one group. You can call it sales contacts. I would strongly suggest creating a specific group for your contacts. That way you can see where they're syncing back and forth. And how you can do this is if you click to create your contact groups here. Switch that new group at the bottom. So new group, sorry about that, is at the very bottom here. Create a new group name. And the reason we're doing this is we're actually going to sync all of our contacts to this specific group. So now when we go back into our Zoho, so in our Zoho CRM here, we're going to go to our setup, and we're going to go to our Google Apps and add-ons, and we are going to go to our contact setup. So you notice all of the different integrations are going to be on this tab up at the top here. We're going to click directly on contacts. We're going to see, okay, well, we can bring over all of our contacts one time. This is looking at all of my contacts within Google. If I want to, I can just bring all of them over one time. Here we go, where you can pick and choose. What you can also do is you can set up the sync. So the Google Contact Sync is in the top right here. We're on the right-hand side of the screen, highlighted here. Click on the Google Contact Sync. We go in here. We're going to delete my current sync. So what I want to do is I want to set this up fresh. And I want to set it up so we're using my Google Contacts group that I just created. like I said, the reason I created the group was so that I know where all of my contacts are coming from. I can say, okay, well, I only want my Zoho CRM contacts that are my contacts, right? Or I only want my Zoho CRM contacts that are of a certain category. So you can tag them in Zoho and create a specific view for which contacts come into our Google and sync back and forth. So when we do the view really quickly, I'll just say we'll go into, create a new window here just to show you quick our contacts. So we have our contacts. You have all of your different views here. If we only want to sync one view, we can sync our customers. Any contact that's tagged customer. If you're an account manager, maybe this would be a good item for you. This is a specific view. If you are, so you just want all the contacts that have an email, because this is actually a very good point. Because the sync first matches on email, it's great to do a sync only for contacts that have an email. Otherwise, you might get duplicates in both accounts. So what you want to do is you really want to sync only the contacts that have an email account. That way, Zoho can match them up with a Google account or a Google contact, as that is a unique identifier there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly that. We're just going to say, okay, well, we want to sync all the contacts that have an email. So you'll notice that that view shows up right here. So you can do any view you want. And if you want to, there's a checkbox that says only contacts owned by me. That means if you're the owner of the contact, those are the only ones that are going to sync over. Within our Google, we're also going to see our group. We're going to go to our Zoho Contacts demo group that I've just created to sync there. You'll have your sync options. So we can do a two-way sync, a one-way sync, Zoho CRM contacts to Google contacts, or we can do a one-way sync, Google contacts to Zoho CRM contacts. That means it's not, if there's an update within, for here, Zoho CRM contacts to Google contacts, if there's an update within Zoho, it's going to be matched in Google, but if you update a contact in Google, it's not coming back to Zoho. This one is the exact opposite. For Google Contacts, if you update it in Google, it's going to come over to Zoho. Those changes are going to be noticed in Zoho, but if you update that contact in Zoho, it's not going to go back to Google. So how I'm going to set this up is going to be a two-way sync. We're going to say for the two-way sync, you have this extra option at the bottom if you have a conflict. So if you update a Zoho contact and you update a Google contact between synchronizations, synchronizations are daily, or based on the frequency we set next. So if you update both of them in between the sync times, what this is going to say, okay, well, Zoho is going to win, or Google is going to win. So if that same field is updated right now, Zoho CRM, if I updated the last name of the contact, it's going to push over to Google. Even if I updated the contact in Google as well, something different. You can do this for Google to be the master contact list as well. I would recommend Zoho as that is your CRM system, and that's going to be most up to date most of the time here. So you'll also have your frequency. Your frequency can be daily, weekly, and monthly, or you can just do a one-time sync and then never sync them again. I recommend daily. It's always good to have the most up-to-date information as much as you possibly can. So I would pick the frequency daily. For the field mappings, this is going to be all of the different field mappings from Google matched with what in the CRM. So here we have the first name matched with the Zoho contact, or the Google name matched with the Zoho contact name. We have our title matched with title. Company is the account name, right? So we just kind of move down here, and if you want, you can actually add more fields. So if you have something that's specific to your business that's, let's say, it's a custom field in Zoho, and you make it a custom field in Google, what you can do is at the very bottom of this list, you can say Google custom fields, and where you would type the name. Let's say a Google custom field might be spouse. What's their spouse's name? And in Zoho, you might have the same field. Because I don't have spouse in here, we'll just do test select here. So what this will do is it'll take any spouse information from Google and it'll anything tagged as a spouse in Google and push it over into Zoho CRM into this test select field. So as soon as I save this, it's going to begin syncing for the first time. And like I said, it's going to, if you have contacts in Google already and you have contacts in Zoho already, it's going to match up based on email. That's why it's very important to synchronize based on email here. So I think we're working in the background here. Refresh the page. And we're set. We have a two-way sync. Started today. You'll get your time when the last sync was, when the next sync was. And we'll be able to go into our contacts and we can see all of the contacts in our Zoho demo group that's just happened to sync over now. So you can see how kind of quick that works right away. Again, this is going to be, we chose daily, so this is going to sync every day at 10:31 a.m. So that is the contact sync. We also have, the next one we're going to go over is the calendar sync. So within Google, you have your calendar, and you can have multiple calendars. What I recommend actually is kind of the same as what we did with the contacts, is creating a new calendar. So I like to, if I have all of my sales activities in one calendar and I have, you know, my personal activities in another, I don't want my personal activities in Zoho CRM. So when we go to our calendar setup, I'm just going to deactivate and start over here again. What we're going to do first is we're going to create a separate calendar in Google. So we're going to go to our calendar, go to Apps, Calendar, and we're going to create a new calendar so that we don't sync all of our personal information into Zoho or vice versa here. So if we do my calendars, I'm going to create a new calendar, and I'm going to do sales activities. We'll just put Zoho on the top here so we know what that is. And we will create the calendar. So we created the Zoho sales activities here. We're just going to show only this calendar. We have nothing in here. We're going to go to Zoho now, and we want to sync all of our Zoho activities. So let's see what we have here. If we don't have any, I'm just going to create a new event for June. Save. So when we go here, go back into our setup. Sorry for switching screens so fast there. Go into our setup. We will go to our, again, Google Apps. We're going to go to our calendar sync. And we are going to go to, so we have the same options, right? We want to sync what calendar? We have one Zoho calendar. We want to sync to which Google calendar? So what we want to do is I want to sync to my Zoho sales activities. So my Zoho sales activities here is going to sync two-way, one-way Zoho to Google, one-way Google to Zoho. Again, that's the same option kind of as contacts. If we only want to push our update our Zoho information in Google, then we would do the one-way sync Zoho CRM to Google. If we only want to update our Google information in Zoho, then we would only do the one-way sync Google Calendar, Zoho CRM calendar. And then as well, you will have guests, obviously, to a lot of your events, you know, for all of your sales activities. If you're showing a house and you have, you know, 2 different individuals on there, if they're not already in the CRM, you can choose to sync guest option. What this is going to do is it's going to add a guest to as a contact in Zoho, and it's also going to add them to the event. So when we save here, we can then It may take a little bit of time, but you'll then be able to see all of your different events in your Google Calendar. So soon here you're going to be able to see my different events over on, go to our month here just to see. You're going to be able to see this on June 11th. Again, sometimes that does take a little bit of time to come over to Google. So we'll just kind of move on to our next one. We'll check on that later. One of the biggest points of integration is going to be email. As a sales representative, it's very important to see all of your different interactions with a client. So a lot of your different interactions are obviously they're going to be through email. That's your kind of documentation. Hey, where are we at with this stage of our potential? You know, are we moving forward with this deal? Are we not moving forward with this deal? Have you sent them an SOW? Have they sent you an RFP? The email is a great integration, and Zoho made it very easy for you to do. So what we're going to do for this one, the steps that we're going to take, we're going to go back over to our Google Apps integration, and we're going to have email. So for email, what you're going to see is for email, you're just going to type in your password. It's already going to know, okay, this is Sean. I've already embedded, or I've already synchronized my email. What it's going to show you is it's going to show you your name. Here it just happens to be Sean@cloudbakers.net. You're just going to type in your password, and it's going to do all the rest of the setup for you. So you're going to notice the setup actually, if you click on Zoho Apps, once you've done this, you're going to click on your Zoho Apps, and your apps and add-ons, go over to the Zoho Apps tab. Within Zoho Mail, so we'll click on Zoho Mail. That's kind of what it configures for you. You're going to notice Sean@cloudbakers.net. It's going to be send mail at Sean@cloudbakers.net. You want to make it look like you're sending email from your specific server, especially if you have very specific spam settings, things like that. Zoho has the option to send SMTP, so it sends technically from your Google Apps server. You can set your email sharing permissions if you want to be the only one that sees these. If you want to be the only one that sees your emails, but you want to share publicly, or let's say you want to share publicly most of your emails, you just don't want to share anything that's internal, then you would exclude any external domains. So this one would be cloudbakers.net, or you could do, if you had a specific company you were working with and you didn't want to share those emails, you could exclude those domains within here. If you want, you can make it custom. When you make it custom, you actually select which emails you want to show. So based on each contact, you can go into a contact and you can say share emails with the client. So we'll just save here. We didn't really change anything with our email. That's all going to be taken care of. It's going to pull all of your email into Zoho CRM. So that's done through POP. So POP configuration is not going to take your red information and your label information from Google. It's only going to take the email itself, and you'll notice that all of your different emails, they're going to be unread when they come over. So you'll have to kind of manage that in Zoho. What you'll see also in the top here is once you have this email integration configured, this is the mail magnet piece. And the mail magnet piece, this is all of the individuals that are my contacts. So any methods that I bring in, that I receive or send, or that I receive from one of the contacts in my CRM, it's going to show up in your relevant messages up at the top here. That's the power of the mail magnet. It's perfect. That way you can see, okay, I don't want to see all my spam. I just want to see all of my sales opportunity emails. You'll see them all directly within here. You can also view all of your emails that are pulled over within your more, and if you go down to email, it's going to show you all these. So another piece, that's the email piece within the Google Apps integration. The last two that we're going to go over is the tasks and the docs. So the tasks is a very simple integration. What this is, if we go to our setup and we go to our Google Apps integration here, we're going to do something very similar to our contacts and calendar, and we're going to select the default list that we want to send all of our tasks to. So I like to keep these organized and keep these as our sales tasks. So this is going to be kind of the same way that you select. This is going to look at your Google Apps task lists. So when we go to our Google Apps, you can go to your tasks. You're going to see this little window down at the bottom. And you'll notice that you have these different lists. So with these different lists, you're going to see create a new list here. New list. And you can name this new list Zoho tasks. Then, if you refresh this page, you're going to see new Zoho tasks. These are all the ones that we had in there. So we're just gonna leave it as sales tasks here, so I can show you. Then, once you go to your activities up here, we can create a new task. And when we create this new task, make the due date today. And you're going to notice that at the very bottom here, you can fill all this information in. You can say save and export to Google Tasks. What this is going to do is it's going to send this task over to my Google so I can see what I have to do today. That's within my Zoho in my Google. So we can go over to Google. And it may take a little bit of time to come over here. We'll go to the list that I am sharing to, and you can see that I have my new task and the date that it's due. All came over from Zoho here. So that is the task integration. The last integration piece is the Google Docs integration. This integration is set up once you set up your authentication with Zoho CRM to Google. And how you're going to do that is you're not going to do anything within the setup once you already have this configured for the first time. So if you're syncing your contacts, you're going to be able to sync your drive information. And how this works is if you go to a specific contact, let's go to Alan here. When we go to Alan, we'll scroll down to our different attachments. We're loading up here. In your attachments, you're going to see a Google Drive icon. That Google Drive icon is going to go and look into your Google Drive, and it's going to say, okay, which files do you want to store in Zoho CRM, or which do you want to attach to this contact? So when we go click Google Drive, again, that is right here. Click on Google Drive, and we're going to, you can see all the different files in here. You might want to, this is great if you do your SOWs, if you do your RFPs, if you do all of that within Zoho CRM, or within Google. You store all that in Google. You can just say, type in SOW, it'll fetch Google documents. I don't have any in there. We'll just go to all, and we will attach our invoicing here. Click OK. Your invoicing document is then going to be stored in Google. So that is the last piece of the Google Apps integration. I just have a couple more things to go over with you, and then we're free to go and ask any questions here. So again, my name is Sean Banta. I am the manager of cloud development here at Cloudbakers. Feel free to take down my email and follow me on Twitter. Also, Mitch is the founder of Cloudbakers. He was a big IT professional at another company, saw that there was a need for cloud integrations, for help moving businesses to the cloud. Started Cloudbakers, and it has been a great time ever since. So also make sure that if you would like to view more on Zoho, they are having a Zoholics event. Again, they're a ton of fun. That's July 7th through July 9th in Pleasanton, California. I went last year and had a great time, learned a lot about Zoho. We are speaking again at Zoho, so feel free to come and enjoy some great networking of all the different Zoho partners. You'll get a lot of good ideas of how other individuals are using Zoho. It is a highly customizable system, so the possibilities are kind of endless to where you can take it for exactly how your business works or your different processes and workflows there. With that, I'll kind of open up any questions, and I'll answer a couple of them over the next couple of minutes here. For Matthias, an SOW is a statement of work. When you would send, so as a services company, we say that this is what we're going to do for you as a company, and then you sign, do your agreement, just like a contract. Or let's look at another one. IMAP, as far as I'm aware, is not currently available. It's just POP. If you only see contacts and calendar under your Google Apps integration in your account, this is for Randy. What you're going to want to do is you need to go through the administrative piece with Google. So go and add the Zoho CRM application to your Google Apps Marketplace. You may need to talk to your administrator to do so, and then you'll see a few more options within Google once you're authenticated there. Can multiple Google Calendars be synced with Zoho Calendar? No, only one Google Calendar can sync with your Zoho Calendar. And I think that's about all we have time for today. We are recording this session. I think Zoho is going to be putting this up for you to view again. If it went a little bit too fast, you can kind of take it at your own pace. Just in regards to time, I wanted to be able to show you everything. So we went a little bit fast today. Feel free to email or tweet at me if you have any questions. Try and be as responsive as we can be. And with that, I'll be closing the session up pretty shortly here. So again, if you have any other questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to use Twitter. And thank you all again for attending the webinar. I will talk to you soon.